Welcome to our MBA program information session. My name is Ashley and I will be presentation today. Thank you so much to Dr. Simone DiMatteo, who is the program chair for the MBA program, and she has put together a wonderful slide deck that's going to be very informative and introduce aspects of the MBA program, the student culture, and some general information. If you have any questions, feel free to enter them in the chat, and toward the end of the session, we would be happy to assist. For any admissions related questions at the end of the session, if you haven't thought of something you wanted to ask, but you want to contact an admissions counselor, we would be happy to assist you. You're welcome to send us an email at admissions@Sofia, SOFIA.edu, and we would be happy to assist you with anything that you need, or we can direct you in the right direction just in case you need some guidance from other departments. But without further ado, Dr. DiMatteo, I'd be happy if you could introduce yourself and get started. Thank you for today.
Thank you, Ashley. Hello, everyone. Thanks again on behalf of the MBA program for joining us here at Sophia. We have lots to talk about, and I am very open to questions. So please put those questions in the chat, and Ashley will help curate for me. So pictured here is our beautiful campus in Costa Mesa. We also have a campus in Palo Alto. So we're out here on the West Coast enjoying the sunshine today. We're going to talk a bit about our MBA program, what an MBA is, our students. We'll get an overview of the program structure itself. And then we'll talk about how the focus of our university, transpersonal psychology, fits into the MBA program and how it connects to business. And then again, if you have any questions, please, that's the best way to get information for everybody, because I'm sure if you have a question, somebody else does too. So a little bit about some context around MBAs. So there's only 10% of the world's population have a master's degree. A master's degree is considered a graduate level program, and it is the degree before a terminal degree, and I'll talk more about terminal degrees later. But the MBA is the most popular master's degree available, and it is because a lot of organizations in the business world consider somebody with an MBA to know how to lead, and that's going to become more important later on too. So the average salary of an MBA is almost 2.5 times what somebody in the same position who doesn't have an MBA. So it's worth getting an MBA if you want some flexibility. And a lot of people ask me about, like what kind of career can I have with an MBA? And so one of the statistics that's always, I think, really highlights the value of an MBA is that 40% of the C-suites have an MBA. And so they value very much others who have an MBA. And then the skills that a lot of recruiters are looking for are in business graduates. Uh, the MBA covers a lot of those skills, so it's really important from the perspective of what you're learning. And then those top 3 skills are leadership, strategic thinking, and problem solving. And the difference between some MBAs and other MBAs is the emphasis on one part of these 3 things, whereas in our program, we focus on all 3. So you get the skills of leadership, you get the skills of strategic thinking and problem solving all in one degree. And then many entrepreneurs prefer to have an MBA because the MBA gives a very universal look at everything that goes on within an organization. Next is a list of careers, and you can see it spans just about any aspect of business because of the versatility of the MBA. So now we're going to get into what makes Sophia's MBA a little different. So about some basics about our program is that it's a work integrated learning program. And what that means is your coursework, along with what you're doing in your professional life, is integrated. And we talk about that and we bring that learning in and experience together so that you are getting the full value of your education. We are fully WASC approved, and a passing grade in a graduate level course is a B. That's standard. It's 82% or better. And for us, standard academic progress is really important in that not only are you passing your classes, but you're maintaining at least a cumulative GPA of 3.0. You haven't failed any courses, and you're maintaining your attendance rate. So those are some important things to know about our program that we require of our students. Full-time means 2 courses. One of our courses is always residential, and that means that there's time that you're going to actually spend on campus during the semester for that course. And then your other course is a fully online course. Those 2 courses together combined make 6 credit units, and that's full time at Sophia. So a little bit about our students. We have 331 students currently enrolled in our program. We have 94% of them carrying a 3.0 or better, so you can see that we have very smart students. And we've retained 98.86% as of our winter 24 assessment. So a lot of our students come to us on word of mouth. Somebody has referred them. Somebody has talked about what it's like to go to Sophia. And I attribute that retention rate a lot to what our previous students have experienced. So some of our students come from all over the globe. As you can see here, every star there represents one of the locations on the right, and we have multiple students from those locations. And so you will get to meet people from all over the world and make friends and have opportunities to network. And those networks and connections that you make in graduate school will last you a lifetime. And I think one of the things that really excites me about the program is that ability for our students to connect globally, because uh, it satisfies that um, strategic initiative that we have, that we are, become a global community and bring transpersonal psychology to the masses. So it's fun to have see that in our students, that they have connections all over. So the program goals here are long and lengthy, and I'll let you read, and I'll just kind of touch on what I see as the vision for the program that these goals serve. And that is the MBA at Sophia is different because of that transpersonal piece that I spoke about earlier. And that transpersonal piece is the connection between the work world, our work selves, and our personal selves, and how we honor our personal selves in the professional environment. So not only do you get an education about business and what goes on in business and how to lead through business, you also get an education about yourself and how you interact with yourself and others to be a better leader. And that pebble in the water, to me is the value of this program. So if we're meeting these goals, we're making a dent. The MBA program with Will is a 36 credit unit program. Additional 12 units can be taken for concentration, so that could be a total of 48. You can actually take an additional concentration and go up to 60 credit units in total. As I mentioned earlier, each course is 3 credit units per course, which you should can relate to. We typically measure that by 30 credit units of coursework hours. So what you're looking at are our courses are 10 module weeks. So you're looking at somewhere between 3 and 5 hours a week per course for study. So that might be writing a paper, doing all the research, reading for the week, adding into a discussion in the classroom, um, up to a total at least 3 to 5 hours a week. So if you're doing 2 courses, which is full time in each quarter, you're looking at somewhere between 6 and 10 hours a week in coursework. We are an APA standards school, so we require APA standards from our students in all their coursework. We have some concentrations. That's the 12 credit unit piece. The first one is what we refer to as the MBA DA, and what that stands for is the Masters with Data Analytics concentration. And so that's really taken in the computer science department as an MBA student. And for those who don't have a technical background but want to, say, learn data science and data mining and data visualization to be able to create cool reports or dashboards or, manage data in a way to make it valuable for decision makers, though we have what we call a bridge course, so that you're bridging from the business world into the computer science world, helping you with the terminology, helping you understand how to function in the computer science classroom, because it's a very different world. It's a very different language. And then we have the MBA TSL, and the transformative strategic leadership concentration is going to be something that you would take if you really want to focus on being a better leader, right? And that can manifest in a couple of different ways. Maybe it's as an entrepreneur or as a C-level executive. Those are some pretty intense courses about how to be a good leader, how to lead teams, how to lead through change and transformation. Or maybe you are wanting to become a leader of a group of employees or a team across multiple locations. There's some courses specifically designed in the concentration to help with that. And then there's others to help with, maybe you want to teach other people how to be a good leader. And so there's a coaching focus in the concentration as well. There's also the MBA GBL, and that's a global leadership uh, concentration. And that's going to be different in that those leadership skills that you would learn maybe like as an entrepreneur or as a C-level, but globalize that. So you're going to spread it out across learning about different cultures and how to do business in different areas of the world, about supply chains across borders, in all kinds of global perspective from that concentration. Those concentrations, those second two concentrations become available in the fall, but you can add a concentration up through the first 4 terms of your program. So say you're not sure which one you want to take, and you get into the program, and then halfway through you're like, yes, I want to do global leadership. You just need to make sure that you sign up for the concentration at least 2 terms before the end of your core program, the end of those 36 credit units. So that's something just to keep in mind. So now I'm going to kind of get into the day in the life of a student here in our program. Our faculty come from all over. Their expertise is aligned typically with the course that they're teaching, but sometimes they'll teach in other courses because they have expertise or training or interest or maybe professional experience in those other courses. I like the idea of using my faculty across different courses so that they gain better perspective about what's being taught in this course and that course. Maybe it's the course before they're teaching and the course after they're teaching, so that they understand the curriculum and how their course fits into the overall program to create continuity for the students and to create consistency across the program. Our faculty is very focused on our students' success, and it's important to them that, I mean, as they've stated, that they are able to do what they can to help the student within the realm of the regulations and the requirements for the university. The administration here, the staff is just amazing. I don't know how I do my job every day without them. I don't think I would have nearly as much success without their support. And they're just so super nice. One of the things you'll find about our community is it's a very caring environment. And I think that's what makes it so much fun to work here. On campus means in that residential course, you will be on campus 3 times per semester. The sessions go like Saturday morning, 9:30 to 2:30, or Sunday, 3 to 8, or maybe it's a Tuesday, Thursday combination. Like it depends on how the schedule is set up for each summer. And that depends on how many courses, how many faculty, what's available, if we have staff. There's a lot of things that go into planning the schedule, but the on-campus time can't be missed. A lot of people feel like, oh, I don't want to go, but you really have to, kind of. And but the best part about it is how much fun we all have teaching on campus. And that really, for the faculty that get to teach on campus during this semester or quarter, um, they really have a lot of fun. They really make it engaging, and they want that engagement from the students. It's not a like stand up and lecture for 5 hours kind of thing. It's interactive group activities, it's individual activities, maybe within a big discussion that's going on. There's lots of interaction that goes on. So some of the skills and abilities that are intertwined within the program that you'll learn about, aside from the ones that I mentioned earlier, the core ones are business, of course, because it's a business program, right? So those sorts of things are like organizations and how organizations function. And we put it in the context of systems thinking because systems thinking goes to the interconnectedness of any community. And an organization is a community, and that interconnectedness touches on the transpersonal aspect of it. So that's how we incorporate the transpersonal throughout the program. And the business is the main focus, but it's kind of wrapped in leadership. We're always looking at it through how would you lead if you were in this situation? Or if you have these values as a leader, how can you make sure that you're being authentic to those values while you're pulling a team together to work on a project to get some goal done? So we're always thinking within the context of business, but how do we create that environment or that culture or that facilitate that learning, both for the student to understand themselves and how to work with others? Attendance is vital in our program, aside from needing to attend the online excuse me, on campus sessions. Online, you need to um, be engaged in the classroom, and we take attendance weekly. So it's important for the engagement piece of your learning experience that you show up, we'll show up, and it creates this wonderful um, experience for everybody. Our program is, I talked about this earlier, based on 10 study hours per credit unit, 30 credit units per course, and for 2 courses, 60 hours. So again, you can expect to spend somewhere between 6 and 10 hours of coursework per week. So this work integrated learning thing that I mentioned earlier is really a critical piece of our program. It it helps the student take what they're actually learning and not just, you know, not just absorb it, but actually experience it, reflect on it, and live it in their work life. And so, maybe a good example to give you would be, uh, I'm thinking, um, uh, let me put it in context. So the first two courses in the program for fall are Introduction to Transpersonal Psychology and Self-Leadership and Business Communications. And in those two courses, which are packed full of great stuff, but also set the tone for the rest of the program for you. So it gives you the tools like how to use APA and how to look at yourself and do reflection exercises and what does transpersonal mean, right? Like all of the pieces that you need to start the program. Your will course, which is a third course, and you are required to take at least one throughout the program. That course is focused on your internship and how to maximize your internship within the context of the two courses. So in business communications, for example, the faculty will give you the tools on how to network. And then you can take those networking skills and test them out in your internship or your work world. And you can come back and reflect on, did that work? How did it work? If it didn't work, how can we help you adjust so that you can make those great connections in your internship and maximize the value of that internship? So that's what I mean by like really integrated into the coursework. It literally connects the coursework with your professional world. And it may not be so much go out and do something. It may be something's happening in your professional world that you need to pull and learn about and can ask questions about in this course too. Like if something's going on, you're having trouble communicating with your boss, business comms again, right? Like, how do I manage this situation? You can ask that of the faculty and they can help you and advise you and mentor. So another valuable tool that we use here at Sophia for our programs is e-verification of what you're learning. So across the MBA program, there are 3 badges that we award for the first 36 credit units. After the first 4 courses that you take, so after the first 2 quarters, you'll be awarded a badge. This email that you're seeing off to the left of the screen is, or technically the right, right? No, left. Okay. So it is an email that you will receive, and you don't have to do anything to for this email. All you have to do is click the View My Badge link. Once you click that link, then you see the badge, and that's what the badge looks like for the first 4 courses, and it's called the Transpersonal Psychology and Leadership Badge. And then you get this email, and in this, or you can click the badge, and in the badge, it explains what courses you've taken down here. It explains what skills and knowledge that you have received through these courses, and it explains the learning outcomes of these courses that are encompassed in the representation of this digital badge. One of the things that we have recognized is that when we give somebody a transcript, and maybe we give a copy of a transcript to your potential employer, it doesn't tell them what did you learn. It just lists the classes and what you got. And in a recent study that I just read, organizations are no longer looking at GPA as a measurement of what somebody learned. They're looking for like what experiences did a student have. This shows the experience that you had in those 4 classes. So we are instituting this in our programs now. So again, in the MBA program, it would be 3 digital badges throughout the first 36 credit units. So now I'm going to talk about like you've made it through your program, right? So what does it being an alumni here at Sophia mean? So we're in the process of building a lot of opportunities for our alumni. We have an alumni award that we give out each year, and I'll let Ashley talk a little bit about that after I'm done. And then we have uh, a newsletter that comes out to our alumni and what's going on in school and all that kind of stuff. And then we also have a tuition discount for our alumni for if they decide to go on to other programs. So what other programs do we have besides after you've earned an MBA. So there's a couple of different avenues that you can go at. If you've taken one concentration, you can take a second, of course, and that's one option that I've already talked about. But another option is um, we have, in conjunction with the computer science department, what we call a pathway to one way or the other. So if you've started in your MBA and you've earned your 36 credits and you want to go over and earn a degree in computer science, a master's degree in computer science, you can do that. You will not have to pay the application fee. You will get a credit of 6 credit units from your MBA to your MSCS or vice versa. It goes both ways. Say you start in computer science and you want to get your MBA. That's another way to do it. So it shortens the time frame that you would be in the program, but it also gives you the value of 2 full master's degrees. For the people that this would be important to is anybody who's in tech, which in Palo Alto is just about everybody, right? And wants to understand how technology connects to business or has to manage a large technology project, or they want to be able to move up and become CIO, right? Like there's all kinds of reasons to combine those 2 degrees if you're interested in technology. And the other avenue that we recently brought on a new DBA program, and that's a Doctorate of Business Administration. And that is the next step in the degree program. So it's called a doctorate. It's a terminal degree. It means it's a final degree in the pathway of the business programs. That program is 3 years long, and it is an amazing program. The Dr. Chess, who built the program, I wish it was around when I was getting my master's degree because I would have certainly have gone for this doctorate because it just looks like such a great, meaty, fun experience. So those are the options that you would have after the program as alumni to choose from. Um, Other than that, I think I've covered everything. Maybe there's questions. Thanks, Ashley.
Yeah, no, thank you so much, Dr. DiMatteo. I appreciate the presentation. It was very informative. I'm sure the students got a lot of information from it. And it's very clear that you have a passion for what you do, for teaching, all the young minds here. I wanted to go ahead and get started with a question that did come in while you were giving your presentation. I believe you
Okay.
may be able to speak to this. And it says, one of the students asked, I am an international student with an F1 visa starting in the summer, and this is their first quarter. They haven't been able to find employment to participate in an internship. And they read on our website that it states for students unable to find a placement in the first quarter, the university can assist in locating a placement. Could we elaborate on what resources we have available for students to find employment and internships? So perhaps you could speak to that.
So we don't actually at the moment provide, like we don't have relationship with businesses at the moment to provide like internship opportunities. What we do is through our networks, we hear about things and we're like, oh, well, this person, we facilitate getting uh, connecting better way to put it, connecting students with potential employers. It is something that we're working on. It's something we're very focused on. And in fact, right now we're doing an analysis of like where are all our students working? What's the top 10 employers? Maybe we can go to them and help them with more internships. This is a vital time in the business cycle. A lot of companies are hiring interns for summer. So I would definitely be scouring LinkedIn, and certainly if you want to connect with me and let me know on LinkedIn what field you're looking for. If I see an opportunity, I will certainly pass it along.
Thank you. And I do know
Welcome.
that the Student Services Department here at Sophia, they are building out the Career
Oh,
Resource
right.
Center. So I think that's an excellent opportunity for students as well. I know we have a wonderful student services team. They assist current students who are enrolled at Sophia with regard to finding internships, learning about events, networking, and mixer events going on locally in the respective campuses. So I think that's an additional resource that students will absolutely be able to utilize. In addition to that, I know the Alumni Affairs Office is regularly encouraging students, right, after they graduate to communicate with one another to help each other find internships, find businesses. I believe I know of a few students who are interested in beginning a business together after they complete their respective programs. So something that I personally emphasize, and Dr. DiMatteo, add anything that I haven't covered, but anytime I speak with prospective students, I mention to them that these are your future peers and colleagues within the industry. So it's of the utmost importance, despite the fact that this isn't a cohort program, that you communicate with one another and coordinate as much as possible to build rapport, practice your networking skills. I always put an emphasis on communication, written and oral communications. It's not to say that you have to be a perfect speaker or anything by any means, but in my opinion, practice makes perfect. And I have had students come to me asking, for the on-campus participation, like how much public speaking do they have to do, or are they going to build that skill throughout the course of the program? So perhaps, Dr. DiMatteo, you could speak a little bit to that, how that is fostered in the class environment.
Absolutely. And just to add on to the question that we're on at the moment, um, one of the things that I failed to mention and I meant to mention is about the alum program is the alumni social media sites, because some of the alumni will also post positions there, like within their company, if they know of an opening. So that's another place that we try to connect our students with employment. Um, all of our social media sites, actually, you should definitely be following any one of them or all of them, because we put out a lot of information through social media. Um, so as far as public speaking, writing, the skills that you gain in that realm. We do presentations. We do have the students do presentations. We do give feedback. Feedback is super important in my program, both for the students and from the students. So um, teaching in that business communications is where you're going to start to learn about um, giving presentations, creating presentations, how to speak in public. Um, you'll test it out throughout the whole program. We have in all of our courses what we call a course learning integrative project that spans 3 different assignments. It's 3 parts of an assignment, and in all of the courses, the online and the on-campus. And in the on-campus ones, you're a lot of times that's what you're working on for part of the day. And part of that might be that you stand up and give a presentation either as an individual or within a group. And sometimes, like with the group, everybody will take a slide or, work it out amongst themselves. So you're learning a ton of collaborative skills like that in order to feel comfortable giving a presentation. And usually by I would say probably the fifth, sixth course, the whole speaking in public thing, fear thing goes away because you've done it enough that you feel like, okay, I can do this. This is not a problem. So, I think I covered the public speaking,
Yeah.
communication. Yeah.
It's great. And I always call it a transferable skill, meaning no matter what industry you eventually go to work in, this is something that you're going to be able to utilize literally everywhere because communication is
Yeah.
the lifeblood of
Everything.
many, yeah, literally the entire world, right? Like, especially if you want to be on social media. So thank you for that answer. I appreciate it. A student asked another few questions that I'll go ahead and ask. So the first is, where can we get more information on the different concentrations, the ones that are coming up in the fall?
So those will be in the fall catalog, which we're submitting the documents and building the catalog for fall as, as I'm rolling here. And so I'm not exactly sure when the fall catalog will come out, but I can give you a little bit more perspective on the concentrations if that helps. So, for example, in the data analytics courses, I'm going to name several of the courses: data science, advanced data visualization, data mining, cybersecurity, uh, Python and R. Um, Ethnographic is a new one. The Principles of Computer Science is the new bridge course, and I'm missing one course, and of course, I'm not going to remember what that one course is. So each concentration has somewhere around 6, 8 different courses to select to meet that 4 course requirement. Excuse me, transformative leadership, strategic leadership one, you're looking at organizational leadership and management strategy, leading transformation, uh, team building. I'm trying to think of all the courses. Oh, actually, I think I have it right here. Ha! Look at that. Um, Leading technology transformation, project and program management, creating learning organizations, lean and agile methodologies, and leadership coaching and leader-driven marketing. For the global leadership courses, you're looking at global business environments, international economics, global supply chain management, and I don't have the rest of them. That must be on the next page, and I didn't print that page. So, but you get an idea. So there'll be finance, international finance, and global marketing, and you know more global leadership courses to dig into. Supply chain management. I said that. Okay, I think I'm
Nice.
done.
No, that's excellent. Thank you. And typically, I always mention to students, anytime you want more information about our course offerings, please visit our catalog page. If you go to sophia.edu, in the search, you can type catalog and it'll take you right there to see our latest versions. You can also see past versions in case you're interested. But once the new iteration of the catalog is posted, typically it's about 1 to 2 months prior to the start of classes for that particular term. It'll be uploaded on our website for students to navigate in real time. So the next question for the student is, do the courses run simultaneously, or is it one course for the first half of the quarter and the second for the second half? That's an excellent question because I know that some universities do run their curriculum that way. Since we are in a quarter system, 10 weeks per quarter, typically students will take one class for the entire 10-week duration. So that class might be broken up into little segments, but it's not that you take an entirely different class in the first 5 weeks and then another one in the next 5. Is that correct, Dr. DiMatteo? It's just all the
Yeah,
way
you're
through.
taking 2 simultaneously through the 10 module weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a module typically each week per class that students will need to kind of log into our learning management system, which is called Canvas. This is where you're going to be taken to your dashboard of courses that you're taking for the quarter. You'll be clicking into there and you'll get information about the syllabus. The discussion module will be there. You can update your profile, and all this information is going to be given to you at new student orientation when you're ready to start. So don't worry, you're going to get this information multiple times. And then for the summer quarter, Is there a way to get the schedule for when classes will take place and when we will expect it to be on site? This will help plan for travel. So with regard to the actual schedule of classes, just to let you know, a member of our registrar team will reach out to students directly who are ready to go for the summer quarter. They will be given the course schedule as well as the times that those courses are offered, so you will be able to get that information. In case you would like to reach out directly, you're welcome to send an email to registrar@sophia.edu, and a member of their team will be able to assist to get you that schedule so that you can see everything accordingly. So I hope that assists and answers your questions. Let me see if there are any additional questions in the chat. The student asks, the concentrations are optional, correct? Or can that be decided by the fourth quarter?
Exactly. They're optional. You can start with the core MBA program, and if at some point you decide, oh, I want to do a concentration, you can add it. It's just important to add it, by the end of that fourth quarter.
Excellent. Now, these are great questions. Thank you to the students for asking these. I'll give it a moment before I ask my own questions. Let's see if the participants have any other questions that they'd like to have answered, because this is always a great opportunity to get information live directly from the source, as opposed to just from the admissions team.
And just a note, Roland, our marketing guru, has posted not only our website and catalog, but also all of our social media sites. Thank you, Roland. Super supportive for the students to get to see where they can get more information about us.
Yeah, and that's also a great resource. I always encourage students to especially check out our LinkedIn page, because new events and new information is being posted there consistently, and you'll get a snapshot of basically what makes us stand out as a school. I always emphasize on the admissions side our transpersonal values, which is kind of the lifeblood of our curricula here at Sophia. So currently, let me check through the chat quick, make sure no one has asked any new questions. Feel free. We still have around 15-ish minutes for anyone who wants to continue asking questions. You're welcome to do so. But Dr. DiMatteo, I actually have my own questions on behalf of students that I wanted to ask. So when it comes to mentorship while students are in the program, let's say they're trying to decide between concentrations, or they're not quite sure what their next steps are from one quarter to the next, who should they go to receive guidance, or what protocol would you like students to follow for that once they're enrolled?
That's a great question, because this is critical to our program. And right now, currently, that person is me. And part of that is so that I can see where the students, pain points are in the process and resolve them. Part of that is because I want to be able to engage with the students, not just as the program chair or as their faculty. I want to be able to get a feedback from the students so that I can adjust the overall program or a course, or have trainings for faculty, or help the students be successful. Again, that is always our focus here. So eventually I will find somebody who, I trust as faculty and advisors to help me with the students. But a lot of this, I come from 30 years of corporate, so a lot of the higher ed world is new to me, and I'm learning a lot through those interactions with my students as much as I am with the staff and with the leadership and the faculty. So for now, it's me.
Gotcha. I mean, you're so communicative with the students, and I've heard feedback from them. They're so appreciative of everything that you do to support their journey, because that's a big aspect of what you do, especially as chair. So I want to thank you on behalf of them, and
My pleasure.
I want to roll this back a bit in terms of even earlier than once someone is an actual student. So I have had prospective students ask me, okay, I don't have a background in business, but I'm very passionate about it, or I come from a medical background or a more technical one, but I'm apprehensive about whether or not I would be a good candidate for Sophia's MBA program. Good. I know you spoke to it a little bit in the presentation, but could you talk about or encourage students who maybe don't have a business background if they would still be good to jump into our MBA program, and how are they supported early on in their journey academically?
You know, uh, I might be a little biased coming from the corporate world for 30 years in my career, But I can't imagine not having an education in business. Everything in the world runs off of business, even if it's a medical office or a dental office, or pick a business. It's a business. So to me, there isn't somebody who, in my mind, who wouldn't benefit from an MBA. That's the beauty and the versatility of an MBA. The hard part is there is a perception of what the MBA is in the corporate world that isn't necessarily taught in all MBAs. And that is that leadership piece. So it's really important to me to incorporate that leadership from a transpersonal perspective into our program so that as our students become successful and become alumni and graduate, they take that into the business world so that their professional life is more balanced and healthy and reflective of who they are, and they're representing in business in an authentic way, in a way that is purposeful for them. So that mission that I have, like that vision that I have for the program is exactly what you're touching on. And that means there isn't anybody who wouldn't benefit from an MBA. It's just maybe you don't necessarily see yourself in that situation yet. And I can help you find a way to look at it through that lens. Does
Got
that
it.
answer?
Yes, it does. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. I see a few more questions have populated in, so I'll go ahead and ask those. Are there any scholarships that we can apply for? So I'll address this question.
Yes,
So,
thanks.
yes, we absolutely do have scholarships that students are welcome to apply for. They will be ineligible to do so until they are officially deposited students. So anyone who's just accepted, once they go ahead and take care of their deposit fee, then they will be eligible and they will have their sophia.edu email address. You will utilize that email address to apply for the scholarships that are on our website for a particular term. The scholarships will open again in the fall, so don't worry for summer students who are trying to apply and they see an error message or anything like that. You have up until that first academic year to apply for scholarships, and it will be deducted off of your first year of tuition if you receive the scholarship. Please note that you are eligible to apply for multiple scholarships. However, the maximum that a student can be given is one scholarship if they are eligible to receive it. And the average range is $2,500 to $5,000 off of your first years of tuition. So there certainly are options for students. I know not everyone is able to apply for federal financial aid, so I think that this does assist to offset the cost of tuition. Something else I wanted to speak to is that in addition to the scholarships, you are welcome to work with our student business office. They will assist with regard to helping students with payment plans. I believe there is a $35 fee per quarter for payment plans, but what they do is they break up the cost of tuition in chunks across the 10-week period so that you don't have to pay tuition as a lump sum upfront, because tuition does need to be paid for within the first week of students starting classes. But if you need assistance, our student business office is a wonderful resource. You can message them anytime at student.accounts@sophia.edu. And I will put the common emails that students typically will refer to, I'll put them in the chat, but I'm just saying that that is an option available to you. And then the next question is, what's the recommended period for international travel? Now, we are a continuous enrollment school, so that means all 4 quarters of the year students typically are enrolled in classes. I know for international students, they do get a break quarter after completing 3 quarters in a row of their education. But Dr. DiMatteo, do
Assuming
you
they're
have,
meeting
yeah,
SAT, right?
right,
There's always that caveat on when you
right.
get to take vacation. As long as you have no failed courses, you're 3.0 and your attendance is you're meeting attendance requirements, then after the third quarter, you can take a vacation quarter. And that's the same, for the next 3 quarters. If you're doing everything you should be doing and you're meeting SUP, then that eighth quarter, yeah, eighth quarter, you can take vacation. If you decide to do concentration, that's where that comes in. So that, to your point about eligibility for that.
Gotcha. Thank you for that clarification. And then the next question is to confirm for the July 1st start date, the CVIS transfer period is the week of June 24th. Is that correct? So students are able to transfer. That is the CVIS transfer deadline for international students who are transferring their record from another institution in the US to Sofia University. Please work with our international student office in order to coordinate that transfer. They will be able to give you documentation pertaining to that. And to reach the International Student Office, you're welcome to email them at dso@sofia.edu, and they will be able to assist with getting information about that. With regard to resuming work starting on July 1st, that would only be if students are eligible in their first quarter for the work integrated learning option, and the International Student Office will be able to assist with regard to answering that specific question for you, because this is a case-by-case basis for students. So I just wanted to mention that, to answer that question. And again, I'll put the common contacts in the chat after I'm finished speaking. And then the next question is common and popular companies that students are working at. Dr. DiMatteo, do you have any off the top of your head?
Yeah, I do. So you're looking at Amazon, Apple, Bionic. Um, I'm trying to think of some of the bigger ones. Of course, Cisco. Um, some of our students work for different city offices. Deloitte, um, the big three. So Deloitte, Moss Adams. Um, let's see. Oracle. Did I mention Oracle already? Um, trying to think of. So, a lot of the big companies, because our Palo Alto office is right in the Google neighborhood, there's a lot of our students that come to the Palo Alto campus. We are currently about 60-40 split between Palo Alto and Costa Mesa with our students.
Excellent. That's good to know. Thank you for that. I think another question from the student came in. If there is a need to travel internationally during the program, is that still okay? Now, you might have an answer, Dr. DiMatteo, but from the international student office side, I think they would be very good at answering that question as well, because it is a case-by-case basis. And of course, students do need to meet their satisfactory academic progress as well. Not sure if you had any other comment.
There are times that that it is allowed, and you're still in the program, but to Ashley's point, that is really the DSO's realm, and they're really good. I love our DSO office at helping our students understand the rules and the regulations and when they can travel and how they can travel and what they need to take with them and what they make sure they let us know and that sort of thing. So reach out to the DSO office because they're just amazing too.
Yeah, they are. I know they handle a lot of inquiries, so please anticipate 1 or 2 business days for them to respond back, but they are highly communicative and excellent and thorough at answering student questions. What I've go ahead and done in the chat for the Q&A section is I put the common contacts for reference for the admissions team, the student business office, and the international student office. Feel free to send emails to those respective team members for any additional questions that you have. I know we're coming up to the end of the hour here, so I'll wait a minute to see if there are any additional student questions before we conclude our session. But thank you so much. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Maybe we can add the registrar's office.
Sure,
To
yeah,
that
let's add the
too,
registrars as well,
because we
certainly.
mentioned it earlier, and that will help the students.
Certainly. I'm going to mute myself while I type.
Thank you, Elizabeth. I feel like we covered a lot of ground here.
I believe that we did. And, it's thanks to the students for asking excellent questions. That
Yeah,
certainly does,
absolutely.
it gives us
Makes it
some
more fun.
Yeah, it's more engaging, I feel. It's very nice. And whenever students are interacting with me, I notice some common themes that are coming up. And anytime students don't want to ask questions right away, I have a couple in the back of my mind that I know could be possible. You're very welcome for answering the
Absolutely.
questions. That's what we're here for, and we're very fortunate. Thank you so much, Dr. DiMatteo, for your presentation, your wisdom, answering questions, and assisting students. Is there anything else anyone would like to ask before we conclude today's session? Give it a minute. I'm going through the chat,
Thanks for
making
putting
sure.
up with my presentation.
It was wonderful. It was very informative. Okay. I think we're good to go. And of course, if anyone would has any additional questions, don't be shy. Feel free to reach out to the admissions team, and we would be happy to assist and get your question where it needs to go. But thank you so much for the attendees, and for anyone watching the recording, thank you so much for your time as well. We hope that this has been very informative and insightful with regard to our wonderful MBA program. You're going to really enjoy the whole experience. The faculty are fantastic, very helpful, and come from a very diverse set of backgrounds. So you're going to be in good hands. But thank you, Dr. DiMatteo. Thank you to all the attendees. And thank you to the Sofia staff who have attended today's session as well. Thank you to the marketing team for advertising. And we will see you all very soon.